I'm very sad, okay? Do you want to know why I'm sad? Let's have a look at the German focus tree. Now, it did get updated, but where's my Holy Roman Empire path? It's gone. They've taken it away from us. In fact, any post-World War I content has vanished. Now, I don't know how to feel about this. I'm sure that the tree during the Great War is better now, but there's no post-war content. The Holy Roman Empire path will be missed. Anyway, let's get into it. The Cold War Iron Curtain effect. When your mod is so worried about realism that it just becomes unplayable, right? What is this state? Do these states... To be fair, the states are a monstrosity, but as I played through the game, I understood why they made it like this. The main part of Germany is a law-passing system where you have to get different states on your side to pass different laws. But I haven't played it yet, so that is what we're going to do, okay? We're going to give this new focus tree update for Germany a chance. And I think they updated like all of the major powers. Italy has a new focus tree. France does. Britain does. I can't see any Imperial Federation, and it looks different from what I remember. Russia, I think, has a new focus tree. I think they will, maybe not Russia. But I am excited to see the direction that this mod goes in because it was a complete mess before. I've got the game on historical, and of course as Germany, I'm going to try and win World War I. Now at this point, I am hoping that my armoured car strategy has not been patched, because if it has, this is going to be a whole lot harder. Fortunately, I could start making them right away from the land facility. I hope they didn't nerf it though. They might have nerfed it. Hopefully not. But we have got the armoured cars in production already, and that is the most important thing. I don't remember what the national spirits were before, but it seems that they might have changed. 1907 federal budget. We're in a naval arms race with Britain. This word, the prevalent encirclement theory, argues Germany is strategically encircled. Is that like the geopolitical situation? Rising unions. While this idea is active, major strikes will continue to occur, and then social reforms, plus 2% stability. Okay, so there's none that are horrible. These are all, apart from rising unions, it's not too bad. To start the focus tree, there was only one focus we could really do that wasn't like an army focus. And then when I was building civilian factories, I started complaining about the states again. If this is actually what states are like in Germany, I feel bad for you guys. What? Especially around the center here. Do they really need to do this? Really? Was this that necessary? So we got all this, but you're telling me Berlin isn't its own state. It's still Brandenburg like this. Okay. Then I opened the decisions tab and I was met with a lot of stuff. We have 2 levels of government. And this is part of the law passing system where each focus will attempt to pass a law in government that'll give me bonuses, which I have to pass through the Reichstag and then the Bundesstaat. To be able to pass laws in the Bundesstaat, we have to earn influence points on its member states in order to ask them for support during the vote. And to earn influence points in that state, you need to build industry in it or infrastructure, etc. Which I kind of like. It gives you a reason to actually build stuff in different states. What happens in that? To gain the support of the federal state of Bavaria, we must offer them a reward commensurate with their support. Let's invest in their industry. Why not? We have to build 1 civilian factory in one of the 3 states. Alright, well, I can do that. There we go. Build one in Bayern. Next is the Reichstag, which I don't really have much control over, but it's usually easier to pass through laws here. And then all the boring stuff, we don't have to worry about that. It had taken long enough, but I was finally ready to press the play button. After hiring a couple of political advisors, I was ready to pass my first law. Look at this. We're gonna do this 5-year army law. If the law passes in the Bundestag, look at this. We can try and pass it. This is a centrist law that first must be passed by the Reichstag. The Reichstag is dominated by centrists, so yeah, it's going to be pretty easy to pass. What is this? Chemical warfare? There's like these whole... Yo! They actually have research in chemical warfare. Why is this researched? What has that got to do with chemical warfare? But okay. Maybe they launch the chemical weapons from artillery. What happens if like the canister of what chlorine gas or whatever mustard gas just opens while it's being fired? Everyone who's operating that artillery piece just dies. Alright, there we go. 5-year army law. So how do I make sure this passes? So this is considered a centrist law. Considering that the centrists have the most amount of seats, I'm assuming this is going to be passing without any difficulties. Now, for some reason, it took me forever to figure out that you have to click on that decision to actually pass the law. I was thinking like it would just do it automatically after the focus. No. Which is interesting though, because now it gives us the opportunity to do focuses, but not actually choose to try and pass the law. This law is still not going to pass. What if I click... Wait, if I click on it now... Wait. If I click on it, will other decisions open up that will allow me to try and pass it? Okay, I'm going to click it, and we're going to see if it allows me to actually try and sway deputies. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, let's sway the righteous, sway some neutral ones. Is it going to pass? Oh, it's already going to pass now. But I'll sway neutral ones as well. Okay, so yeah, you need to click the decision and then you can pass the law. Once it passed in the Reichstag, I then had to move on to the Bundesstaat, where I used influence points from different states that I had invested in to actually pass it there. What if I do this one as well? There we go. I guess over 30 I need? I don't know. And this would be the process that I have to repeat for many different laws. Yeah, we got 25 army experience and 250% cost reduction for land doctrine for passing that. So that's not too bad. But let's just take a break from the laws. Let's organize the Potsdam meeting. Anyway, my armored car had finished researching, so now I could actually design it. Alright, cool. 14. Perfect. So there's my armored car. Producing them as early as 1910 is really good. My army's going to be full of armored cars. Healthcare reforms. Cool, another law. Look, as creative and, fun that a law passing system can be, it does get a bit repetitive. And this is especially tedious because to get influence in the states, I have to build specific structures in the specific states, which are a complete mess in my country. I mean, I'm trying to work out where Thuringia is on this map. Alright, let's do Hesse. What state is Hesse? It's like, where is it? Darmstadt. Alright, we'll build... Was it civilian factory that I was building there? Yeah, infrastructure. Darmstadt. There we go. Okay, that was Hesse, not Thuringia. But I tell you what, it's worse because Thuringia is one of those states and like the cluster that is in the middle. Gets event the center block. Add 5 extra influence points. Beautiful. That's what I need. Baden and Mecklenburg. So Rostock, and Heidelberg. Imagine having to do this over and over again. I had to remember like what city so I could actually identify where the state was. And I'm sorry if I haven't memorized German states. Okay, I'm from Australia. Why would I care? We also managed to get Alsace-Lorraine to become its own state as well. And this one I'm glad about. I know exactly where that is. Saxony, let's invest in their industry as well. I think it's just here, right? Yeah. Alright, let's see where I can... I gotta make sure I start building in places that actually... Thuringian. Are they powerful? They have 8 votes. Thuringian. Something like that. Where's that? Effort. Alright, build a civilian factory here. It's there, right? That's Thuringia. Upon closer inspection of the word, it's probably Thuringia. Yeah, I think I've pronounced it like 5 different times this video. I'll try and influence them. They got 8 votes. That's so much. That is so much. And at this point, I started getting tired of the law passing already. We're like halfway into the 2nd year. Alright, can I just do a focus and not have to worry about things appearing here? Come on, man. I got a lot of army experience now, so I am going to put some armored cars inside of my divisions. After designing the template, the Agdir crisis occurred, so I sent my boat to Morocco. Eventually backed down because I was nowhere near ready yet to go to war with France. The Agdir crisis has triggered financial panic in the German Empire. We have a month to back down or Germany will be driven off the gold standard. Alright, let's back down. When Franz Ferdinand gets assassinated, that's when we go to war. That's when we go to war. There we go. Cool. Law passes in the Reichstag. Now let's go over to this one. Let's pass it here. This year we had a Reichstag election and it's going to be harder to pass righteous laws because the left got a bunch of influence. Anyway, it was time to pass a budget and we had to pass a law in order to enact the budget. We could do a liberal one which would be easier to pass or a conservative one which would be harder. I attempted to pass the conservative one because it gave way better bonuses, but it was way harder to pass. And because all of the leftist popularity inside of the Reichstag, I was never going to. Uh-oh. Oh no. That's not passing. And this one is like especially important to pass because if we don't, we end up in a budget crisis. Modernization of the Schlieffen Plan. Yes, the new plan is sound compromise. Look at this. Attack bonus against Belgium. Netherlands is not good though, but France, Luxembourg, Belgium. Brilliant. All right, let's just consolidate these holdings, I guess. I don't want to fight in my colonies. I kind of like just don't want to do that. I don't want to fight in the colonies. It's boring. I really wanted this to pass, so I decided to do a little bit of console commands and see if I clicked all of the decisions possible, whether it would pass. Unfortunately, I accidentally pressed play when I did decisions.nocheck. Oh, I just did decision.nochecks. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna go. We'll go back on the autosave. Back to to go back to the start of 1912. That never happened. Don't worry about that. I went back to the start of 1912 and I chose the liberal budget this time, so it would be easier to pass. Alright, here we go. A liberal budget. We'll pass this. Okay, this will be passed. Okay. We passed the budget. Cool. Alright, no problems there. See, this would be a lot better if the states weren't so, like, hard to be able to tell what they were. If I could just be like, negotiate with Bavaria, oh, they want industry, and then just be like, yep, done. Because I know that's Bavaria. But when it comes to, like, Thuringia and Hesse and all these other... What kind of stroke was I having there? Anyway, I passed a few more laws, etc., and it was time for 1913. Okay, 1913. The war is going to start next year. Death of... Oh, the Schlieffen guy. He died. Okay, well, his plan will work. High infantry standard. Infantry equipment. Soft attack, hard attack, and reliability. Beautiful. And we're going down our doctrine quite far as well. Anyway, I've got half an army of armoured cars. By the end of this year, it will be a full army. But this was the year I properly prepared for the war. I organised my armies and put them on the borders of my enemies, and even modified some of my division templates. I was surprised, though, that we could strike at the Entente first, right now if I wanted to. Alright, prepare that. I can just strike the Entente. Gets war goal against France and Russia. I guess we won't have to wait for the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. I think I will do this, but probably at the start of 1914. I don't know about I guess we'll do this, but, like, I don't really want to... I can't be bothered defending my colonies, alright? I'm going to make Marines. I will have... Actually, I won't have to invade Britain, but I'm just making them anyway. I'm glad I made those Marines. Yeah, I might actually have to invade Britain. Influencing Balkan powers, and we'll do one more focus, and then we'll probably declare war early. Hey. Yeah, the state of the Navy. Oh, we just... Yep. The Navy, I remember. Anyway, next year, we will declare war. I kind of want to knock out France, if I can, as quick as possible, because I do have these armoured cars here. We are struggling on supply a bit, but... Nah, we'll be fine. Oh, famous last words you're about to find out, because they made this a whole lot harder. We got the basic armoured... Oi, look at this, basic armoured car chassis. That's going to be insane. We have 23 armoured car divisions now. This is plenty. This is genuinely plenty. I completed the focus, strike the Entente, and got the war goal against France. It was weird though. France was guaranteed by the United Kingdom, so I was going to be at war with both France and Britain before even invading Belgium. Which doesn't make much of a difference because I was planning on invading Belgium anyway. Call allies, that's Austria-Hungary. Yeah, there's no harm in calling Austria-Hungary. Done. Alright, Schlieffen plan. 5 days. Fortunately, France didn't start attacking my line straight away, meaning I was doing something right. Those 5 days I was waiting to attack Belgium felt like the longest time. Unfortunately, I had made some concessions on the Russian front because I was focused on France because I want to knock them out quickly, and I was paying the price. Now we're fine. I'm sure if we just ignore that, it'll be fine, alright? They're not that strong anyway. I invaded Belgium, storming across Luxembourg and the Ardennes into Brussels in no time. I very carefully microed my armoured cars through Brussels and trying to penetrate France as much as possible. As you can see here, I'm playing on speed 3, pausing and playing like every couple of hours. The armoured cars are surprisingly fast as well. I was able to encircle some divisions bordering the Netherlands, and then Belgium capitulated. Now, I split my armoured car army into two, one in the north trying to push along the coast, and one trying to break through in the more southern part of Belgium. Yes. Good. Alright. Half of them go there, half of them go towards Dunkirk. I might... Should I move these 10 up to here? Should I just merge them? Like that into 23? I think that's the best. Because we're doing really... Oh, we were doing... Okay, we are still doing good here. Yeah, it's fine here. We probably should be pushing in Russia, but... I'll wait till I get a bunch more divisions out. I have 30. Unfortunately, France was able to consolidate their defenses and even push me out of Calais. Whatever. Oh, no. It's only infantry, it's fine. It's just infantry divisions. Relax. It's just men, okay? Nothing to worry about. None of my precious armoured... I ended up getting the event where the Schlieffen plan failed and we lost all of our bonuses. Are they just not as strong anymore? It's gotta be my design. I tried one final push to break through the French line, but without those bonuses, there was no hope. They'd even retaken some of Belgium. But I knew I could do it, so I reloaded to just before I declared war. I want to try again with... I want to try the start of the war again. I want to try the start of the war again. Okay, here we go. I'm trying again. It'll work. It'll work. There we go. Belgium. Alright, this time, let's go. I was able to push into Belgium a lot quicker this time, and also my main goal was to just get to Paris as quick as possible. At the same time, I also attacked with my army on the French front because I wanted to pin those divisions there. Charleroi. Done. Also, I didn't split my armoured car army into two, I kept it as one full army on the northern front. I just gotta go further north. Oh, the race to the sea, for real. I need to go to south. Leave them there. Good. I need to attack here too. Oh, just overran that division. I tried desperately to encircle the city of Lille, but it just wasn't happening. This way, there you go. Why are they holding that? That shouldn't be. I have like a 35% attack bonus. Once again, my advance had slowed down, but I was still really persistent and hopeful that I could push along the coast. Push further along the coast. That's what we do. We can't pin them. Why have they got 3 divisions there now? That's so bad. Alright, well, we destroyed all them. What are they all doing? Are they going? What's happening? Honestly, I don't know what's happening half the time I'm making these advances, but I did find new momentum and going south this time, which is exactly what we need. We can come down. No, stop pinning me. Stop pinning me. We're coming from the west. No way, bros. Oh my god, we're so close. There's a British garrison. Oh my god, it's gonna work. Now that I was right outside Paris, I can promise you there was going to be a whole bunch of French divisions on their way, so I have to take this as soon as possible, or at least encircle it. There was 1 division, with no organization! Look at the amount of organization on that. I know I can just do this, but that's kind of like... I don't know, is that worth it? Yeah. There, and then there, and then like there. Yes! We've taken Paris. That's it, right? That's it, that's win. That is win. Fall of Paris, a victory for the Vaterland. Now at this point, if you take Paris, you win the entire war. That's it, you win. Unfortunately, with the new update, that is no longer the case, and I'm still at war with Britain and Russia. After taking and holding on to Paris for a while, France signs a separate peace deal, much like Russia did in historical World War I. Oh, we did get this encirclement as well. Alright, I think we've won now, at this point. What's going on? What is going on with Russia, man? Alright, well, I knew we could do it. I knew that first attempt was a bit rusty, alright? That's the way to explain it. It was a bit rusty there. I knew we could actually do it. I hadn't practiced with armored cars for a while, okay? It's an entirely different ballgame to tank divisions, totally. It took a while for France to sign the separate peace deal, but finally they did. Paris captured. Okay, brilliant. If not glorious. News from the front has been confirmed earlier. The German army has captured Paris. The French may full well commit to surrender now, but either way, this is a massive victory for the armed forces. The OHL has suggested to the government that extreme measures be taken to ensure our army can decimate the Russians rather than be cautious and dragging out the war. Advance Germania. Now that is a brand new event that definitely says that the war is not over, and we still need to avoid dragging out the war against the Russians and the British, because if the USA gets involved, I'm still going to lose. Now this is a problem. I've got one of 2 countries that I need to capitulate, either Russia or Britain. Britain is across the channel, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, and Russia may be more likely, but it's still going to take a long time. But I tried my luck against Russia first. I mean, they did historically lose to Germany. Ost plan offensive. Alright, let's see if we can attack. We hold Paris. If we defeat Russia, is it now we have to defeat Russia? Is it like both? Alright, victory. The Battle of France was a real disaster. Paris fell, and the front collapsed within weeks. Our glorious army has captured the capital, and the enemy is crushed under our force. Victory! Separate peace deal. So now they sign a separate one from Russia and Britain. Yo, that's interesting. Hey. Oh, this is so nice. They've actually done it, so it's not just we win immediately after taking Paris, which, I mean, made the whole thing a lot easier. But now we have to face Russia. If we can take Russia, then that might be the surrender. But then France... Oh, this is going to be interesting. I wonder if they've changed the interwar content. They might have, hey. I could finally take my army off the French border and fully deploy it to Russia. I also took as much land from France as I could. All east side of the Maas. Yeah. That's fair. Totally fair. Alright, that's good enough. Let's go. Initially, I had a lot of success in Russia. I captured a lot of Poland and even pushed up to Riga. Yeah, we're down a lot of... Oh, we're down a lot of the armored cars. Because I'm not getting any rubber. By now, my armored car divisions were running out of armored cars. I wasn't able to produce enough because I wasn't getting any rubber. This became a major problem when attacking Russia. I was also able to prevent Italy from joining the Entente by getting Austria to concede southern Tyrol to them. Which, I mean, I don't know if it would have made much of a difference, Italy not joining the war or not. And by the way, France has broken out into a three-way civil war. French Civil War, look at this! France, the French state, the Commune of France. Commit to Polish annexations. Peace in the Alps. Hey! Non-aggression pact with Austria. What? Oh, this here. Okay, so Austria got this. They got that, though. That's a terrible deal for Austria, I'll tell you that. An industrialized northern Italy area for what? Rural Poland? 1914 was coming to an end, and the war would run over into 1915. Conscript the Poles. Ooh, finance the... Oh, this is the war economy branch we need. I'm hoping that it's not like there's a timer to the USA. Until winter comes. That's 300... Oh, that's it. That's a year. We have this until winter comes timer, which I don't understand at all. I'll zoom in for you guys and you can try and make sense of it. Winter happens, you know, every year, so this timer is stupid. It mentions something about needing the United Kingdom to capitulate, so I tried setting up an invasion across the channel. With the France fleet out, our navy might be enough to take on the British. Okay, I can invade. There we go. I have the supremacy, which is crazy. You know what I should be doing? Naval invasion support. What am I doing? My first invasion failed, which wasn't a surprise. I wasn't really trying. I didn't even expect to get supremacy in the English Channel. So then I made some Marines, and I actually set up a proper invasion. I also needed to research bigger landing craft so I could actually invade with more than 2 divisions. Meanwhile, on the Eastern Front, things were slowing down big time. I could not push into Russia. Why is Russia being cringe, man? Why? There's my Marines. They'll go here. There's this guy. I could set up an invasion. I could invade London directly, which I thought was kind of funny, but, you know, that's a bit risky. I think I'll just invade Dover. And then the battle plan pulled off this bullshit. Why the hell is it going all the way around Britain? Here to here. Why are they going like that? What is going on? Alright, fine. Just Ipswich then. When am I going to research my... 117 days away still for my... naval invasions that can hold like a few more divisions. Oh my god. The supply situation on the Russian front was looking really bad. I couldn't push anywhere with my armored cars because anywhere they concentrated, I'd just be out of supply. You know, I move my divisions here and all of a sudden, they're all out of supply. Can I not get like Tipper's Spear? That won't... Okay, I'll do that, but that won't give me... Anyway, next year I would actually begin the invasion into the UK. We're actually like pushing here a bit, I swear. Okay, there's the landing. More better landing craft. 6 divisions. How many more can I do? Can I do 9? 7. My invasion into Britain was my only real hope of progress because Russia had been stagnant for so long. And this winter timer was about to run out. Ironically, it's about to not be winter in the game. I invaded Britain as soon as I could, and it was already good progress from the start. Another naval victory? Okay, hang on. We could be locked in on actually invading Britain here. After a few force attacks, I managed to take the port, and I instantly rushed a bunch of my armoured cars there. I tried to capture the British off guard by taking land as quickly as possible, and it was working. The British force was barely able to entrench, and I kept pushing and breaking their line. I managed to capture London, and then they asked for peace. Herbert Henry asked for peace. Oh, finally the war is over. Oh, we done it! Well, after losing control of the front, the UK is no longer able to fight against the Germans. In order to avoid the spread of war and devastation into the country, the commander of the British Army decided to request a truce. Entente surrenders? Oi! But what happens with Russia? So it looks like taking out France and Britain is enough to end the war. Meaning Russia also negotiated a peace, but I didn't really push far into them, so I was kind of interested to see what they would do. Now, I'm not sure if this is a bug, but when I signed the peace deal, the French Civil War stopped, and they just split the country into 3 different parts. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the communists and the fascists are being like, oh, the Germany's at peace, oh, we'll stop fighting. The UK, they've got a fallen government because they got invaded by us. Russia is like the only actually standing country. France is like locked in... Ah, France, what? I don't know if that's meant to happen. Anyway, the Frankfurt Peace Conference should be done now. So what happened? Hey! The Kingdom of Poland established. I can play as Poland, but no. Now this peace deal is interesting. Poland, the Baltics, and Lithuania are my puppet, but Ukraine is an Austrian puppet. Lithuania, Ukraine, which is an Austrian... No, there's no way Austria-Hungary did enough to get the entirety of Ukraine as a puppet, okay? That's ridiculous. Honestly, I think they're lucky that their empire is still together. You know, sometimes I wonder, if Germany won World War I, how different things would be. We wouldn't have this problem here in the Middle East, right? Because the whole reason that occurred is because the aftermath of World War I and the British. Add post-war economy. The economic recovery will start after the peace deal via omission, interwar demobilization, remove the Central Powers. Now in the previous focus tree, there used to be some post-war content, and you could even play as Hitler if you lost the war. But in this new focus tree, I'm not seeing any post-war content. It kind of seems like it ends here. We just get the Kaiserreich, and well, there it is. There you go. I mean, I think Russia does a few more things, but apart from that, I don't have any other conquests. The birth of Middle Africa. Hey, look at that. This is so funny because I did absolutely no fighting in Africa. Like, I just completely ignored it the entire game. Anyway, we're organizing some snap elections. I think the people inside of Germany want to liberalize a bit. Alright, 1917 Reichstag election. Oh yes, that changes all the seats. The leftist faction is now the most powerful. Constitution. This is a leftist law. That'll be easy. January reforms. Alright, well, we get some reforms in our government. Nice. Is Britain going to fall into a civil war? They're just kind of chilling. They have just no government. Alright. You know, they've had a fallen government for a while now. To feel like the king should have stepped in by now or something. Finally, something happened in Britain. They became the British Empire, which in my opinion is a bit more accurate if Britain lost World War I to turn into a British Empire instead of, you know, a communist state. New chancellorship. The new constitution has shaken the foundations of the imperial... Okay, so I did pass it here. I guess I didn't have to pass it here. Anyway, we got to choose a new chancellor, and I decided to pick the guy with the boldest reforms. Meaning we're becoming more and more a democracy, and it seems like Germany in this universe or timeline is going to become the main democratic power in Europe. And then the Union of Britain rose up inside of the British Empire, so now you have Britain inside of a civil war. Scotland broke away, Ireland started fighting, and then you have the Commune of France join the International with the Union of Britain, so then they were still somehow involved. Yo, the British Empire invading the Commune of France? Whoa, whoa, whoa. The look at that. It's very interesting to see what's happening here, to be honest. Oh, the Union of Britain connected Cornwall to the rest of England. Okay. I think the communists are going to win in Western Europe now. It's all very interesting. I'm just watching from my border. But the fascist and democratic France are not intervening at all. They're still at peace. I feel like the French Civil War was supposed to be over and done with a lot quicker. I think the communists were supposed to have won and then help the British Union defeat the British Empire. Oh, they went democratic. Russia's democratic. Anyway, things were happening around the world. I also checked to see if my focus tree updated, but it didn't. It is only 1918 though, like maybe it would update in 1919, but I wasn't going to stick around to find out. But I did wait until the end of this year to see if any changes around the world would happen. But it seems Britain and France were stuck in eternal civil wars. Is there the Union of Britain? Okay, they got Canada. After sticking around to the end of the year, nothing really happened, so I assume this is the end of the content for me. The war and the peace treaty mechanics have definitely improved in this update, but there's no post-war content. I guess they did need to remove it to be able to facilitate a better World War I experience. But I'm interested to see what they do with it. I hope it isn't neglected. Rest in peace to the Holy Roman Empire path, you will be missed. That'll be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm definitely excited to check out the other countries, but until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.